Hey you, it's Jess here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm trying something different. I am doing my January 2024 favorites, and this is like a list of like mostly lifestyle stuff. There's some planner things, but not like a planner faves tag or anything like that. And I saw Andre do it and I thought it was fun to watch, and I thought this would be a different kind of video that you guys might enjoy just having on for company in the background while you do something or get ready or relax. So let's just have a chill time. I'll chat with you about my favorite things from January this year, and we'll just chill and hang out. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. I don't know if I'll be able to keep it up every month. This is like my third time trying to film this by itself tonight. There will be outtake bloopers at the end of this video, by the way, if you want to tune in for the end. I tried filming this before, like about half an hour before this. I'm trying again, so I have some outtakes from that as to why. But yeah, so stay tuned for those if you want to watch to the end. But I got a little extra volume. But let's get straight into it. I'm going to try and overlay things, some footage and whatnot where I can. But the first thing, I have some categories and then just things. So the first category is my favorite spread in my planner of January, and that was January 15th. City Chill was the kit from SPC, and this is my old City Chill art. I think maybe I drew at the end of 2018, start of 2019 when I moved to Finland, and it is inspired by Finnish cities. And you know, like there's some Marimekko designs in there, and I kind of did a shopping bag inspired by like Monkey and Things, which is a Swedish store, but they have it here. So I thought that was a really nice spread. It was really hard to pick one because if you watch my planner favorites tag in Planmas in December, my favorite season of my planner last year for 2023 was winter, so my January spreads. And I don't know if I like my January spreads this year as much as I did last year. They're still good, but I don't know. I wasn't feeling them as much, so it was a bit hard to pick a favorite, to be honest. But I liked the City Chill. It was simple. It was pretty winter colors like purples and blues with a little bit of pink, but muted. And I liked pairing the silver foil with it. And I had the snowflake bundle from SPC. So the underlays are all snowflake shapes. And I also had some planner choco stuff in there. And it just turned out really cute. So I think that is my favorite spread for January this year. Then my next category is movie. And we have been back watching movies again. And yeah, so I had a few to choose from. And I think my favorite film that we watched this month, and probably my highest rated, was Barry Lyndon by Stanley Kubrick. This was his, Barry Lyndon is an 18th century novel about like a rake kind of guy who he's kind of lucky through life, although he's not that great a person. But I love that kind of story, and I really enjoyed the film. There was some interesting choices, especially in acting, but I feel like overall it just was so beautiful. It was like obviously Kubrick, but the music was beautiful, and I really loved like every single frame was like a painting, which he did on purpose. Like that was his goal, and I feel like he achieved that. It was very much like every frame in that film was just beautiful. And I just loved looking at it, but I also really enjoyed the story. So I loved that. I loved Barry Lyndon. I'm glad I finally watched it. So that was my favorite movie of the month. Now music. This was a tough one because, and I've decided to go with this one because the album came out like January 28th, but I'm counting it because like technically it could count for February too because I've been listening to it all month, but I was listening to it when it first came out. But this was the Wolves of Glendale self-titled first album. And Wolves of Glendale is a comedy band, so their songs are comedic I really like their music though as well. I feel like they're really good at singing voices, and their music is very 80s, kind of like more contemporary version of 80s. Very chill. And the great thing about their comedy is like every song is a story basically. Like it goes through a story. Well, a lot of them, they go through a story. So one of the songs is called The Gym, and it starts about, you know, I've joined the gym, I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to work out, and I'm going to get fit. And where that song ends, you would never imagine it in a million years. I don't want to spoil it for you, but yeah, it doesn't end up being about the gym in the end, okay? And I've talked about one of their songs that I really loved last year. So this was sort of like, I think 5 songs of the album were already out like as YouTube videos and stuff, or on Spotify, and now they've made like a proper album. But one of those songs is called Olivia, and I think I actually linked it back last year when I was listening to it. But it's a song about how his roommate is a ghost called Olivia, and then they start dating. And I just love it so much. And then there's still actually another story twist in that song, which again, I don't want to spoil. If you're interested in comedy music, I guess, you know, kind of like The Lonely Island, but the music is way more chill, way more 80s coded. The first song on the album is called Vapin' in Vegas, and it's very, like, it feels very much like being like a beautiful summer song. Not beautiful, but like a super chill summer song about vaping in Vegas. Another song that you won't know where it goes. Like, I'll just say it's called Vaping in Vegas, and it starts off with a guy in Vegas and it ends up with like cannibalism. So, and they're very funny. And I think actually like the most popular track on the album, and one that I really loved, is called 33. And it's about how he's 33 and he can't make tomato sauce, pasta sauce, and he doesn't know how to do his taxes. And he's like a loser, and he's 33. And then it goes through people like, at 17, Greta Thunberg was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. But when I was 17, I got shot by a paintball gun down there. And it's kind of like, you know, all these people did amazing stuff, but here I am at 33 and not amazing. And that feels very relatable. A very relatable song. But I really enjoy that album. I'm still really much into listening to it. But yeah, I love it both musically, and also the comedy is pretty funny. Except I'm not hugely into the last track, which is called Planetarium Dump. And it's basically like every time he goes to the planetarium, he has to poop. But if you're into that kind of songs, yeah, you should try out Walls of Glendale. They're pretty funny. And then, so TV, I had 2 things on here. The first one being, and if you've watched all my plan with me is through January, you know it's probably The Sinner with, what's his name? Bill Pullman. Bill Pullman, because my brain wanted to say Bill Paxton, of course, but it stars Bill Pullman, and he is a, I guess, like, he's not a grumpy detective, but he's like, I feel like he's sort of different detective, possibly almost autistic coded. Not really, but in getting there, but not like in a Sherlock way, but more like he's not great at social stuff, and it's not really about observation, but he does realize when people, so it's not about, like, they're about murders, but they're not particularly about like solving who did them. They know who did them basically in this show, but what he wants to do is get to the root of why it happened, why that person did what they did, and that there are reasons why some people do this, like trauma in their past and stuff. So, and then he kind of advocates for them, and I think that's a really interesting way to do like a murder mystery show. It has 4 seasons, and each season is a different crime, and we kind of see a continuation on with his character. And yeah, so we finished it in January too, so we watched the whole thing. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I thought the ending was kind of open-ended, but also kind of like in a good place for him, I think. It was good. But yeah, I enjoyed the explorations and the different kinds of crime, and I much prefer, you know, the sort of made-up stuff. So I did enjoy that. But I would say if you're still thinking about watching it, definitely go in blind. Like, don't read the synopsis or the episode description, because the first episode of the first season is pretty wild. We went in without really knowing anything other than there's a murder. But I was like, oh, okay, this is how they're going to do it in the show. And that was really interesting. So definitely recommend that if you're looking for that kind of show. You know, I've been a really big fan of Mayor of Easttown and The Killing and that kind of thing. So if you're into those shows, I think The Sinner is a good spot. And the other TV show I had two, because I couldn't decide. We have Pokémon Concierge. Loved it so much. Only 4 episodes. But highly recommend. They're so cute and so fun and so heartwarming. And they've just announced that they're going to be making more of them. So now's your chance to go and watch those 4, because there will be more. I hope they make more than 4 this time. But it was really cool because it's stop motion animation. So they're like, you know, it's like Nightmare Before Christmas and stuff. But they're all like kind of furry and things. It's really cute. And I love the way they've done the Pokemon. And the resort, it's like they're staying at a resort for Pokemon and their trainers. And it's very like aesthetically like in Animal Crossing. Both the base game with the island, but also definitely the DLC with Anyway, the DLC for Animal Crossing, where they have a resort and it looks a lot the same. It has very similar like patterns and look. But I think maybe that's just the Japanese representation of resorts, which looks really nice, to be honest. But I thought it was so cute. And we watched them all in one day. But I'll definitely rewatch them because they're adorable. And I feel like they can make them endless, because each episode's kind of like about a different Pokemon. And there's so many Pokemon and so much fun you could have. I will say there's a lot of the jokes and the timing is very Japanese. So if you're into like Japanese shows and anime, that you'll probably totally understand it. But if you're not, they have a very different timing structure, pauses than a lot of other like Western media. So I will just say that, like, I've seen some people who found it hard to get into the first episode, but if you keep going and you get recognized the way that they do things, it gets easier to watch. But I found it so charming and so cute. So definitely made me into Pokemon again. I always loved the cute ones growing up. Alright, then we're going to do book. I didn't read a lot of books, to be honest, in January. I haven't been up super huge on the reading at the moment this year, but we'll pick up on it as we go, you know. I've just been sort of busy with other things, wanting to do other things while I draw, like listen to other things. But my book is Babylon's Ashes by James S.A. Corey, part of The Expanse. This is book number 6 of The Expanse and kind of the end of the first story, because book 7 is a 30-year time jump after book 6. So this is kind of like, you could stop at the end of this book. I'd be pretty happy. Although I've also argued that you could just read the first book of The Expanse and be happy. I feel like that's fine too. I feel like every single book, there's overarching story, but then the things that happen in each book are kind of contained. So I feel like they're pretty easy to read in that way, because you can just stop and continue anytime. But sorry, Heidi's playing with like a ball in the background. I won't stop it because it's cute when she plays with her toys. But yeah, so that Babylon's Ashes, gave it 5 stars. I did struggle through the beginning because just stuff in the story got really hard, like kind of depressing. Just depressing, kind of like, just more so for me personally. Just the idea of that, the stuff that happens in it, I'm just like, oh, I hate this. But I think they obviously knew that. James S.A. Corey is like a fake name for the author, a pseudonym. It's actually two guys who write it together. But obviously they realized, like, they obviously knew this because the way the book ends, like literally in the last paragraphs and lines, kind of relates to like, that stuff that's really depressing in the beginning, and it kind of like answers that, and has some really important messages and really good messages, especially if you're like just the way the world is in our own world. It's a really nice message to have at the end of that book, which is why I think it's also a really nice ending to the, if you want to finish there. But I did start the next book, and the time jump is actually pretty interesting. So, but yeah, so it was Babylon's Ashes, and my favorite book of the month. I will attempt to read, I'm probably only going to read like one book in Feb 2, so I don't know if I'll even finish this book at this point. But I can take categories in and out if I continue doing these fave videos. The next and last category proper that I have is food. Now, food I was thinking could change from like what I'm cooking, or what I'm like purchasing to buy. Obviously, I don't, most of you who watch this, pretty much all of you don't live in Finland. Maybe one or two do. So I feel like where I bought food is not going to be so interesting, maybe. But I thought I'd include it anyway because I think my favorite food for this month, February, that I'm filming this, will probably be a restaurant. But the food for January was meal prep cottage pies. So basically, I made a huge batch of cottage pie. I made a big pot of mashed potatoes, and I made a big pan of the cottage pie filling. It's beef mince, peas, carrots, celery, and all sorts of other things. Tomato paste, Worcestershire, blah blah blah. Cottage pie. But basically, what I got is these little silver takeaway containers. Alright, I thought I'd show you in person, but I just got these little containers with the lids. Very useful, and plus with the metal I can recycle this once it's done. But I just make the little mini cottage pies in here, just arrange them all, put the lid on, and then I just pop them in the freezer, and I have a bunch of frozen dinners all ready to go in the freezer. So it's pretty cool, and we can just reheat them whenever we don't have any dinners left to make. Of course you can make them bigger, but my chair's so squeaky, I'm sorry. Of course you can make them bigger for like bigger family portions, but for the two of us, like that could be like one of them is like a whole dinner for one of us, or we can split it in half with some other things on the side. So yeah, I just really loved my meal prep cottage pies in January, and we still have a couple left, I think. So that was really good and so easy to make as well. And you could just like literally just put them together, you freeze them, then we just thaw them in the fridge and then pop them in the oven for like 30 minutes just to do a proper cook through and brown the top. Perfect. So loved that for my food category for January. All right, now I just have some random stuff. The first being, I just thought I'd pop in here like Dashing Diva Glaze nails. I've got a bunch of these. I've been really, I was really into like the normal sticker ones, gloss. And then I got into a little bit of the other ones that are in the middle. I can't remember, but the glazed ones are the ones that you have to put under LED light to like cook them. But I really found these are a good replacement for what I used to do with my nails, which was dip nails. In Australia, I always got dip nails once a month, and they always lasted the whole month. Didn't have any broken nails, which was great. But here in Finland, you can't really get dip nails at all. The main selection is, like the main option really is gel. There's some acrylic, but I just really like the method of dip. I don't know, and it's also way more expensive here. So dip nails in Australia were like $40 at my favorite place. So it's $40 a month for new nails, and because I'm filming my hands all month, thought it was great. But that's 40 Australian dollars. But here in Helsinki, gel nails will set you back like 80 euros, which is like closer to 100 Australian dollars. And I feel like they don't last a whole month like that well. I know, I've never seen that gel is as good. So I don't know. So I just haven't done that. So finding Dashing Diva nails really changed everything up for me, and finally getting into the Glaze LED ones has like just upped that even more for me, because my nails, like, they're no longer constantly breaking, and I find they're much stronger than they used to be under the stickers. You see ones I'm wearing right now. I still like to keep them shorter, but like when the first pair that I switched over from the stickers to the lamp ones, like, it actually was really hot and painful on my nails because they were so weak. But now I don't get that issue at all. So I don't know, I've actually really enjoyed using them. So yeah, I had to put them on the list. I won't talk about them ever again. Probably show some in hauls if you're interested, but yeah. I do have a referral link down below for Dashing Diva that anyone with an account can have. So that can get you some money off if you've never tried them before. And a lot of times you can get an LED lamp for free from them, that's how I have one. So that was really nice too. So yeah, I've just been really into these glazed nails, and it's finally feels like I'm finally back to where I was in Australia. It only takes me 30 minutes to do it by myself instead of going for like 2 hours in town. So that's really nice. The other one is something I was loving in January, because I switched to it mostly in January, is decaf coffee. Decaffeinated coffee. And the one that I really like, which was sold out last grocery shop, but it's actually called like Relax. Because it's relaxing evening coffee because it doesn't have decaf. But basically, I don't really like mixing caffeine or caffeinated coffee I always have a coffee in the morning. I always have, since I was at least 15, 16. My breakfast is like a cup of iced coffee, always cold coffee. But so the fact that I couldn't really have caffeine in the mornings anymore because of my medication, except for the weekends. I don't take it on the weekends, so I can have caffeinated coffee then. But the decaf coffee has saved me. Because the thing is, I wasn't really drinking caffeinated coffee for the reason of like waking up or anything. It was more so just to try and be more normal. Like, caffeine doesn't wake me up. I can definitely have a coffee and then have a nap right after. So like, really it was more about the taste, and I just really like to have the taste of coffee, a cold coffee in the morning. It's just my routine. So decaf coffee has definitely helped me with that. It's not easy to get good decaf, and I probably still don't have that because it obviously there's different methods to decaffeinate it, and freshness goes off faster, and also roasting levels are different. I know there's a whole lot of coffee stuff that I've been learning. But yeah, so I've just been loving decaf coffee this month. It's really saved my mornings. Yeah, I just really love the taste of coffee. And the way I have my coffee is ice, and then the black coffee, which I just use a drip coffee machine. I just a whole bunch of that, and then I just put in my skim milk. That's it. I don't use creamer. I don't use any sugar or sweeteners or flavors. Sometimes we used to have a pumpkin spice and a gingerbread flavorings from Tomati, is that what they're called? The syrups. So I used to make a lot of pumpkin spice and gingerbread coffees. I think I like gingerbread the most, but I don't really have that a lot. I just have a very simple iced coffee in the mornings, and I love it. I love it. So thank you, decaf coffee. Another thing I was really into and I binge watched a lot in January Rella streams. She's a simmer mostly, although she also plays like Among Us and Planet Zoo and other games. But I've just been watching her Sims streams, and she does put some of them on her YouTube channel. And I've been watching her Sims in Bloom Legacy Challenge, and I don't know how many streams it has. A lot. But I basically binge watched all of them over January. These are all like 2 to 3 hour streams where she's playing The Sims, of course chatting to people, and I just watched all of them. I'm all caught up with her channel, which is a bit sad, but I binge watched a bunch in January and I loved it. So if you're looking for some Sims content, I would say I really love Rella's YouTube channel, because she streams on the Twitch, but she puts her VODs up on her YouTube, so you can catch up and all of that stuff easily. And it's just really fun, and she's really nice and sweet and funny. And I just really been enjoying Rella. Okay, we're gonna get to the end here. I got my final 2 things. First is my water bottle. Look at her. Pay no attention to the times on the side. I don't bother with them. I just drink. But what I love about this thing is it's huge. So it has like a whole day's worth of water in here. And it's really easy to grip. Very easy to clean plastic. Don't dishwash this. I put this in my January favorites because I had to buy a new one. I pretty much bought the exact same one as I had before. I was looking at different colors, but I just went with the purple. But I stupidly put this in the dishwasher, and it went from this size to like this size. Like it literally just shrank. And like it still looked like a usable like cup, but it shrank from like this to like this. It was very sad. And I was looking at other ones, and I know everyone was going crazy over Stanley cups and stuff, so I was looking at those, and I was like, I don't know. My big thing that I need for a water bottle is that it can't spill, because I'm a human disaster, and I spill everything. So what I love about this, so I went back to this one, because the thing is, okay, I need a straw, but it can't spill, and that's what this is. So like it has the straw in here, and this is completely removable. It's like in here, and then you just take it out and you can clean all the parts separately. But then it has like this lid that has like the silicone top that stops it from spilling. And then it also has 2 locks. So you can lock it like this. You get the handle. Woo! It's like my water bottle baby. Get the handle, but then you have the 2 locks. So you have to do that, and you have to do this to unlock it. And then, sippy cup. Okay, do you guys remember that person? I don't know why. I used to watch her a little bit, but I always just remember the... Anyway. I am not that extroverted. But yeah, so I love her. I was looking it up, and I think you can only get this on this Swedish beauty website called Lyko, Lyko. I will put Lyko's link in the description, along with everything else that I can, so you can just look it up and copy paste it if you need. But yeah, I think this is made by them. This Swedish beauty site. They're like a Sephora kind of place. And I think they made this. So I apologize if you can't get it elsewhere and you really want this. They might ship. I feel like they might ship elsewhere, but I'm very lucky because I love her so much. My baby. Is this like the thumbnail of the... Maybe. But yeah, I had to put this in because I had to rebuy her. It was worth it. I think she was like 30 euros. So she's not cheap, but she's big, carries all the water you need for all day, and she doesn't spill. As you can see. No spill. So I just chuck her on the couch. It's all good. All right, we'll come up to the last bit. This is my last favorite of the month. My headset, my headphones. They are white. When you turn them on, they light up. Let me just press the button. There you go. So and I love the colors. They it's like blue and, they said trans rights, all right guys, trans rights, because there's also pink in there. It's mostly blue at the moment. I don't know. Oh, that's pink. Anyway, these are Logitech. Let me bump in my phone. I have it down here on my laptop. These are Logitech G Aurora headsets. So they're part of the Aurora collection. Aurora as in like rainbows in the sky. Again, I will list it down below. Yeah, I love these. They go right over the ear. Like, I have pretty big ears, as you can see. And they perfectly cup and fit over my ears, so I don't get any ear pain. They are wireless, although they do have a wire, but you can connect through Bluetooth or a wire, or it has a Wi-Fi dongle as well. So you can put the dongle on your laptop too. It also comes with a little headphone mic that you can plug in. So you can, it's like a whole headset for gaming. The Aurora collection from Logitech is like the girly aesthetic gaming set. So they also have like a really pretty white keyboard and like a cloud shaped like wrist rest and things. I did end up buying these because Lil Simsy and Rella both use these. But I was like, hey, they spent hours playing The Sims and streaming with these on. And I really needed comfortable over-the-ear headphones that weren't super expensive. So I picked these up and I really liked them. So that's my last favorite of January is the Aurora headset. It's so cute. You can turn the lights off, I believe. I haven't figured out yet how. Because I'm like, I feel like if I'm going to go flying with them, I want to turn the lights off for the plane. But yeah, I'm really, really cute. And I love those. But yeah, I guess that is everything. All of my January favorites. So this month, yeah, what a month. I feel like January was both super long and also super short and just disappeared. February, on the other hand, has completely disappeared at lightning speed. So I still need to work on my February favorites, but I started on it. I will have figured it out by the end of next month when I post my February faves. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And let me know if you enjoy this kind of video, if you just enjoy me talking about anything, having a face-to-face video. I stopped kind of doing the wax videos because they didn't really perform that well. But I'll probably have a couple of wax videos here and there coming up because I'll probably do individual hauls for Teddy Bees and Salt Mountain Melts because I did get a few things from them, but in the last pre-order. Yeah, I've just felt like the wax videos weren't doing as well, but I want to try and do the 3 videos a week. So this is one idea that I thought I could bring in. So let me know if you enjoy this or not. I'll just keep trying to do them as much as I have anything to say is my favorite. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for hanging out with me. Stay tuned in a second for the outtakes for my last tries of doing this video. But otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I love you. Bye-bye. Later, Choco. So yeah, I think that's my favorite for January. I did really like how that one came out. I think it was super cute in the end. And I think that's my favorite spread of January. I think I said in my Plan of Faves tag during Planmas that my favorite month, well, my favorite season in my planner for 2023 was winter. But I don't know. I still love my spreads from this January, but I don't think they were as good as 2023, but they're still good. So I think it was City Chill that was my favorite spread of January 2024. Okay, let's get into some more of these. I'm gonna have to like go around and like look for stuff for these next ones. So I have favorite of the month. I'm just gonna write it down here. favorite movies. So we watched a few movies this time. And I think my favorite movie of January was Barry Lyndon by Steve Kubrick. By Kubrick, but you can see Heidi right behind me playing with the blinds because she wants to be fed, but it's not dinner time yet. I have some categories, but then I just collected random. You can see my cat in the background. It's almost dinner time, so of course she's making a lot of sound and annoyance. Heidi. No. Please wait. Anyway,